And as you saw in the last video, I already started modifying it by making these tires a little bit bigger. All right, now that that's done and looking good, welcome to another episode of O Brothers RC. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and perform some much needed upgrades to this little Jaibaile here, because this one's a lot funner and a lot more capable. So I'd really like to make this one more capable so it's just as fun as that one. And as you saw in the last video, I already started modifying it by making these tires a little bit bigger. And what I did was I found a Lego tire that fit the wheel and I put it on there. Then I just took the tires that came on it, stretched them over these, and you got yourself a bigger, wider tire. And I'm going to show you how to do this without having to use a Lego tire. This thing also needs to lose quite a bit of weight up top here, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm also going to be removing the front and rear bumpers and the spare tire, as well as trying to get these shocks to work a little better so that they are not so jiggly. And last but not least, I'm going to trim these front fenders as well. Okay, first I'll start with the tires. I don't have a driver that fits this, so I'm just using tweezers. Make sure you're very careful with these because they're very hard to replace. And the reason why you want to take these tires off is because everything under here is real small. And if you're trying to wrap that other tire over this, you can apply a lot of pressure. You might break something. Definitely worth it to take them off. Okay, now that the Lego tire is off of there, what I've got here is a piece of Gorilla tape. You could use duct tape for this as well. And you just want to start wrapping it around the wheel. Now that I'm done wrapping that Gorilla tape on there, it is just a bit larger than the Lego tire that was on there. So after I put the tire on here, it should be just a bit taller. And these tires are very stretchy, but I would recommend that you be careful so you don't tear them. But as you can see here, it wraps right around there and you get yourself a much bigger tire. Super sweet. And as you can see, it's quite a bit bigger than the Lego tire insert. However, with it being so big and it is kind of heavy, I am concerned that there will be rubbing, as well as the motor may not be able to push this much weight. But the cool thing is I can just remove some of the tape and make it smaller. All right, I got the wheels and tires off and I'm going to start disassembly on this thing, but I thought it worth mentioning that you don't actually have to unscrew anything to get the chassis and the body to separate. If you look in here, this little guy right here, this little tab, you just pull this out and there's one on the other side. And once you get them both unclipped, the chassis releases from the body and then you can pull it out of the back. This little thing right here gives me some ideas. But for now, let's get these lights unhooked and get this body modified. Got the bumpers removed, the tires and wheels, and the spare tire, and the chassis. Now I can go ahead and remove the ESC and electronics, which is in this plate right here. Then all that's left is this inner body and the body itself. I'm not going to mess with the body itself. It's pretty lightweight and I think it's good to go. But this inner body can lose a ton of weight. So there it is. We've lost quite a bit of weight. All this weight up here and all the weight in the sides. And another benefit is now the windows are rolled down. All right, this is looking really good and it's a lot lighter, but I still want to modify it just a little more. I'm going to take this front clip off and I'm going to trim these fenders down. Man, that looks so much better. So what I've done is I've scored it with the Dremel. Then I just come back with the X-Acto and cut it off. All right, now that that's done and looking good, pretty freaking stoked on. Let's go ahead and proceed with the next step. And that is the rear bumper. Once again, I want to get rid of the bumper, but I need this part here because it holds the ESC in. Since I'm not using the bumper, I need to go ahead and take these two clips off here because they actually hold this inner body in. All right, now we can bolt the electronics back in. All right, the last modification I want to do before I put this chassis back in is put grease into these springs here. As you can see, I've already done this one. This definitely slows down the rebound. And it's real easy. All I'm doing is just squishing some grease into the spring here. And then you want to get some grease on the shaft as well. That's what I told your mom last night. Believe it or not, that's going to slow down the rebound and take away a ton of jiggle. Now I can mate the chassis back to the body. Once again, be careful with this stuff. It's small and brittle and it could break. All right, I'm going to finish putting these tires and wheels on, and then I'll meet you outside at the crawler course. I'm actually going to drive this thing in the dirt. I think it's going to be capable enough to handle some rocks and stuff. If you're enjoying this video, now would be a great time to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Don't forget to smash that bell so you get notified when I post more cool videos like this one. That is if you think this video is cool. Man, this thing looks so good. Let's see how it crawls. All right, hopefully you've seen that these mods definitely improve the capability of this little guy. You wouldn't have been able to go anywhere near any of this, stock out of the box. So if you like what you've seen, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you tap that bell to get notified of my future videos. And speaking of future videos, I'm definitely going to be upgrading this guy, so make sure that you tap that bell to get notified. And of course, above all else, remember, when you think RC, think O Brothers RC. Thanks for watching. The wheelbase on this quad is dang near the exact same as this truck here. That gives me some ideas. Make sure you check back and see what I come up with.